Are GLP-1 support groups being censored on social media? Watch this clip and then let's talk about it.
Breaking news, big tech censorship is coming at us in a massive way. About this. Today, my Facebook group of 20,000 Zepbound users who shared information about how to find their medication, about how to have conversations with their doctors, was just wiped off of Facebook. And after doing some more digging, I've noticed that some of the telehealth companies that you all use and promote have been wiped off of Instagram. We are being targeted. Our community is being targeted for simply getting the medically necessary treatments that we need and having community around that.
Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey and hopefully you'll subscribe, come along for the ride because I put out new videos every day, sometimes even twice a day, just like today. So I wanted to make this video because, as you can see from the clip that you just watched from Dave On the Pen, his Facebook group got shut down. And I could be wrong. Let me just throw it out there that I could be wrong. But I have a little bit of a different take on this because I have experience with Facebook groups, and I've had something similar happen with my canine nutrition group. So let me explain what I think is actually happening. So again, I could be wrong. So Dave, if you watch this, please don't get mad at me. So here's what's happening on Facebook. And if you're not a group owner or you're really not kind of in the trenches, right, GLP-1 advocate, you may not be aware that there are a ton of scammers who have created support groups on Facebook so that they can then recruit people to go join those groups so that they can scam them. They have scam pharmacies, they have scam doctors, right? Many times they will, have a profile that looks like they're a physician, or they'll claim to be a pharmacist, right? And they'll claim to be able to provide you with access to these medications at a ridiculously cheaper price, right, than you would pay either out of pocket for name brand or even for compound. And it's a scam. And this is not a new scam. This is the same type of scam that has been around forever on Facebook. It happens in the dog groups when people are looking for, potentially adopting a dog, or even to find a responsible breeder to then purchase a puppy, right? There are so many groups that are created by scammers, and people get scammed every single minute of every hour of every day on Facebook. So this is not a new type of scam. And what ends up happening is that when there is an uptick in a specific type of scam, social media platforms will do like this massive sweep and try to, while using the algorithms, figure out and pinpoint where the scams are and wipe them out, right? And there's no consideration for example, legitimate groups like the Zepbound group that Dave created, and that they may have scammers in those groups, right? And we've all seen scammers post, right? They post and they're like, oh, well, I get my medication at so-and-so, and then there's a link to the group, right? Or they're like, oh, well, you'll never believe this. You should join this group. All the information's right here, right? And then there's a link to the group. So, Facebook as an entity doesn't care that you have a bunch of scammers in your group, but that your group itself is not a scam, or it's not being run by a scammer. So again, this is something that I've dealt with over on my canine nutrition group, which has, over 12,000 members. So it's something that's just challenging, that there really is no recourse, right? You reach out to Facebook, you get nowhere, nobody cares, and you just have to start over. So my heart goes out to Dave and to everybody who was in that group. My hope is that he just goes ahead and makes another group and, you know, modify the name slightly and get it back up and running, because like I said, Facebook doesn't care, right? They're not going to reinstitute your group and add all your members back to it, right? It's just gone. It just is what it is. And it's sad because legitimate groups, legitimate support is being hindered by these scammers, because that's what the social media platforms are attempting to do. This is the same thing that happened with TikTok not that long ago, and they put out these new guidelines and said you can't talk about weight loss medications, right? And everybody was in a panic going, oh great, now I can't talk about this on TikTok. Well, it turns out you can, but they did that specifically because there was a woman who was on there who was selling fake medication and scamming people, and someone, unfortunately, from the product that she sold them. So that's why this sort of thing happens, because it's serious, right? So if you want more about that situation and what the outcome of that whole thing was, you can go check out that video, because I did a whole video on it. It was wild. Anyway, I hope Dave gets his group back up and running, and I will keep you guys posted. So far, my support group is still safe, probably because it's relatively small at this point. But who knows? If they do a clean sweep and they start, you know, really tagging specific keywords, then I'll just restart it over again. Facebook, joke's on you, because I don't care what you do. I'll just redo it again. Okay. If you found this video entertaining, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Make sure you check out my other videos with helpful tips and tricks that will help you on your weight loss journey. And as always, be kind, rewind.